YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Season of the Worthy Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, time for an updated raid guide, and I put out the feelers whether you wanted first the raid guide or a Season of the Worthy initial impressions review video, and I will get to that probably tomorrow or if not Monday. The main point of this video will be to go over what has changed. For me and my fire team, I play with channel members. If you want to become one, click the link in the description. We've got an amazing community. And, well, what has changed for us? What weapons are we using now? As you clearly can see, you can tell what I'm using, and I'm using different weapons that I normally would use for this encounter, and it's going to be the same for the other encounters. Pretty much we're changing up the loadouts, artifacts, not necessarily the subclasses, but definitely the weapons and the weapon mods. So this is not going to be a full raid guide on how to do every encounter. I'm going to assume you know how to do the raid. I might throw in some tips and tricks here and there, but you know how to do the raid, and I'm going to highly encourage you to do the raid to get those pinnacle drops, right? You've got a great source for pinnacle, easy pinnacle gear if you know the raid and you've done it a lot. And then when you've got the raid challenge each week, there's a challenge for each encounter, well, then you've got double pinnacle drops. So I would highly encourage you to definitely do the raids, even though it might be a little boring. You've done it a million times. I know it is a little bit for us, but I would prefer doing the raid on 3 characters than doing like Master Nightmare Hunts or even the 100k Nightfall. I really get bored with those. So for encounter number 1, my loadout is going to be a submachine gun with anti-barrier rounds, an auto rifle with disruption rounds, and good old Whisper of the Worm. And Whisper of the Worm is going to be critical throughout most of this raid, although you might want to substitute or can substitute Wendigo or a really good grenade launcher if you're feeling frisky. But my fire team and I, we tend to go with Whisper of the Worm. So in encounter number 1, just to kind of recap, so you're going from room to room to room to open up the doors, and you need to tether each other to the door, and someone has to pick up the spit, as we call it, and then they cannot pick up the spit again, and they have to wait until the next room, and then they can pick it up again. So I use the anti-barrier rounds for the Vex Hydras and some of the Vex just in general, the Vex Hobgoblins that is. I use Whisper of the Worm to pick off the Cyclopses, and I do use my auto rifle, the TIGERSPITE from the Dreaming City, with overload rounds when we do run into some of those overload Minotaurs. So now you don't have to use the RECLUSE, as you can see I'm using here, the pinnacle weapon from the Crucible. You could use any machine gun if you feel like you want to, or you could just run double auto rifles. I know a lot of people rag on me for that, but I do like overload rounds, especially when you're running into those overload Minotaurs. It is great for stunning them. Now, when it comes to auto rifles, it's all subjective. I'm using a TIGERSPITE from the Dreaming City with Outlaw and Kill Clip, and then also I have an amazing RECLUSE Oracle that is, well, the same thing, Kill Clip and also Outlaw, but it fires 600 rounds per minute. If you don't have it, try to grind for that weapon. You will not be disappointed with the most recent buff to auto rifles, the 600 round per minute auto rifles, and the RECLUSE Oracle just in general with Outlaw and Kill Clip is absolutely amazing in PvE. For encounter number 2, now you're only going to need anti-barrier rounds for the very start when you're going from relay to relay because of those champions that you have. So myself, we have a couple of other fire team members who do use some anti-barrier rounds to help take them down, and then they'll switch to something else because once you take the champions out after you've gotten to the 4th relay, well, you don't need those anti-barrier rounds anymore. So for this one, I put away the Whisper of the Worm, and I am using my RECLUSE Oracle with Kill Clip and also Outlaw, and then also I am using my Hammerhead machine gun. And for my primary, I have Randy's on, but to be frank, I don't even really need it or even use it. I'm not saying you can't use Randy's or the RECLUSE. I mean, they're still a good combination. It's just what I prefer, and you let me know in the comment section, what is your preferred loadout for all the encounters? Now, I like the machine gun because when the angelic spawn, they go down really, really quickly with my Hammerhead here. So I would recommend, well, that's why I recommend a heavy machine gun for this encounter for 2 reasons. 1, the angelics. 2, if you ever get overrun by ads because your teammate has not gotten back to you to get the buff or whatever, and you've got, well, you've got your buff still, but you're getting overrun by ads, the Hammerhead or a 21% Delirium or any machine gun in general is going to take them out really quickly, and make sure you put on that helmet and also leg mod that's going to give you extra ammo for your machine gun. You'll find ammo everywhere if you stack those mods. And also don't forget to put on your chest piece if you want more ammo, where you can actually hold more reserves for your machine gun. And that's pretty much it for this encounter. You know, we have one person that's guarding each particular relay, and then we have one person that floats between 1 and 2, another person that floats between 3 and 4, and they come back and they give us the buff over and over. When it is challenge week, we all will then load up on one particular relay, because remember, you all have to buff at the same time. It's a little tricky. I never made a full guide on it, and it's kind of hard to explain how we actually do it. But see, like right now, I ran out of buff, but doesn't matter because we're actually heading to the final part where we just need to buff up a few more times and get this encounter done. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm using. Let me know in the comment section what you're using for every encounter in this raid. For the consecrated mine, and I'm going to let the full gameplay roll out at the end of this video because we got a pretty good challenge mode kill here where you need to deposit 10 motes, 10 motes, and 10 motes, and then you've got the challenge done. I'm going to recommend Whisper of the Worm. I will recommend a void weapon for your energy slot, either an auto rifle or a submachine gun. You could use the Recluse. I'm using the Reckless Oracle here. And I actually don't even use my primary for the most part. I've got Randy's on just because it was my highest powered weapon. The reason why that I say use a void weapon is for, well, one reason only. The void minotaurs, if you're on gambit duty, they've got void shields, so you could take them down pretty quickly. I tend to like the auto rifle more for this part rather than the Recluse for a couple of reasons. They do a little bit more damage than the Recluse and have a little bit more range. And a lot of times when I'm coming back from defending the relay after I deposit and I run into supplicants all spawning there, and I will try to bait them, and you'll see it in the full gameplay. I try to bait the supplicants to come to me as I'm leaving a relay because I don't want them to go out into the middle and then cause everyone else problems out there. When it comes to DPS, well, I'm using Whisper of the Worm, and you want to try to get Whispered Breathing procced because you will see so much more damage. So I use my Reckless Oracle to try to take out the eyes, and I am on tether, so I throw that tether to stun or hopefully catch the consecrated mine as it's trying to leave. You want to have a Titan bubble to get weapons of light, and you want to have also a well of radiance, and you might want to plop that well of radiance or a second well of radiance as you're moving forward getting those critical hits. And you can see we're doing some pretty good damage, and we also have someone on Divinity Patrol where they're giving him a debuff the whole time. A few people on my channel member Discord say that they use Wendigo on the consecrated mine. That's another option you can do too, but I don't know, we just like Whisper of the Worm. Now on to the final boss, and then we'll go back to that consecrated mine kill. I was shocked at how good this Reckless Oracle is, or just any auto rifle it is, with clearing ads when you're on Gambit team picking up all of the motes. I used to rely heavily on my good old Hammerhead, but these ads and even the Harpies go down really, really easily with pretty much any auto rifle that you use. I do have a scout rifle on, I've got Randy's on, and I almost never use it. I pretty much just use my auto rifle the whole time, and I've got Whisper of the Worm. You know, a few folks say that Izanagi's and Wendigo is still a good combination for the final boss, and let me know in the comment section if you think that's true. We just tend to prefer Whisper. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with Whisper of the Worm because I use a controller on PC. Yes, I know I'm a scrub. And a lot of times I do end up missing my crits, and when I'm zoomed in on the final boss, the Sanctified Mind, I'm trying to get Whispered Breathing to proc, or in this particular kill, I'm actually on my hunter, so I hit him with a tether, and then I want to get into place, and a lot of times I don't get Whispered Breathing procced, and it is just a huge difference in the amount of damage you will do in terms of Whispered Breathing compared to not having Whispered Breathing procced. You also want to make sure you stack all of your relay mods. So you want to put on, if you have, Enhanced Relay Defender on your entire armor set if possible. Throw away all the exotics. You want to have it ×5, and you want to, well, if possible, and you want to be standing right next to one of the relays when you're doing your DPS. Another thing too with the Sanctified Mine is, we found we've been 3-phasing him. We used to 2-phase him so easily with Izanagi's, but one thing we've noticed, and I can't tell if it's just us or if it's the game, but the Sanctified Mine just feels really, really buggy since this last update. So many times where it clearly looks like you landed your crit shot with Whisper of the Worm, and it doesn't count. You don't see the yellow crit number. You don't see anything sometimes. or you'll see a white number for your damage. It's not crit, and you got to reload. And the whole point is to, well, use Whisper of the Worm, get Whispered Breathing procced, and just hit him with it over and over. Have your enhanced Relay Defender going, have Weapons of Light going, and you should be good to go. So I think you could totally two-phase him if you're all using Whisper. You've got Weapons of Light, you've got your 5-stack of enhanced Relay Defender going, and you land all of your Whispered Breathing shots. But you let me know in the comment section, what's your favorite loadout for the final boss or any fight? And also, are you guys good at getting Whispered Breathing to proc on all of your Guardians in the fire team and two-phasing them easily? I know my team and I, we struggle a little bit. We always kill them every time, first time that we play, but we usually get them within 3 phases. And a question for you guys, do you actually use Wendigo or Love and Death or a God Rolled grenade launcher on the Sanctified Mine? And if you do, how the heck do you actually land all of your shots when you're standing next to the relay with all your enhanced Relay Defender mods? I've tried it. Stupid me with my terrible aim. I end up just missing shots, and I don't know how you do that with a grenade launcher, but yeah, leave it to Mesa Fail to do that. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I'm going to work on a full review or semi-review of my initial impressions and thoughts on Season of the Worthy, which is primarily comprised of Trials of Osiris and the new PvE activities, and a lot of it we have not seen yet. Remember, the good old roadmap there, leaving out a lot of things on purpose because they don't want to spoil things, or at least that's one of the community managers. Well, that's what they said. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end if you made it this far. Then I'm going to let the full kill roll out here. If you'd like to become a channel member and join an awesome Mesa Army Destiny community over on Discord, click the link in the description or click join on screen. We've got an amazing Destiny 2 Mesa Army community, and also we've got a Mesa Army clan if you need one as one of the bonus perks, PC, Xbox, or PS4. All right, that's it, guys. Drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at MesaSean. Check out my stream. Usually know it's on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.
Oh, yeah, grenade launch. Not a good idea.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, fuck.
Whoa.
Move forward. Oh, sorry, not.
I sniped from here, sorry.
I'm sorry, I realized that when you were.
Your last one is on me, Angle.
Clear?
Outer.
Watch out for steps.
Sorry about that, Nat.
No, it's fine. I just was like, I'm being pushed. I love how this boss is.
Okay, my way, Angle.
13 seconds.
I'm on my way.
You're good, yeah. Moving?
This is my pickup.
Mayhaps.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
3
Is he
seconds.
gonna decide to go? Like, jeez.
There it is.
Twisted, you need help? Or you just want Mesa? Actually, Mesa, grab the subs.
Clear, clear.
Yeah, just get this up. Okay.
Ow.
Outer.
Almost died by a supplicant.
Yeah, we need to kill supplicants. Jesus.
You what?
Supplicant came and followed us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I had like.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, I've seen that before. For sure.
I mean, I've seen it before, but it's been a while.
Did you get your 10, buddy?
You almost done?
Yep, I'm coming right now.
This should be the last 10. Yep. 12 seconds on.
DPS phase.
Okay.
And you're right here, we're chilling.
Who has a res? Nutterson.
I have a res.
Yeah, I do. I do too.
Oh, no.
Oh, nice job, guys.
Here we go, DPS.
That was like just in time.
I don't have
Twisted,
well.
do you have,
Doesn't
do you
not
have
gonna matter.
bubble?
I have bubble.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not
You know
getting
what,
any.
boys? Double bubble.
I'm gonna use Goldie. I'm not even gonna worry about
Bubble that bitch.
div before I die before even.
I'm just gonna punch the shit out of it.
Okay. Somebody else has got bubble? Alright, I don't need bubble.
Here we go.
Boys.
Nice job, guys.
That was cool. All I saw was Twisted smacking him in the face with a shield.
That's what I did to the consecrated mind, but oh no, it was a bad idea.